And we're about to begin as we take a look at the beautiful Ferrari sponsored by DTMMovies.com. And they're off. Pretty clean start. Doesn't seem like there were any incidents. We're going to go into the first turn as we take a look at El Nino. He's coming around the outside of Esmade Satsuma. That was a nice, but he was going way too fast. These tires are still cold, and a lot of these drivers are probably going to overdrive the first few turns. Yep, there's another one. Dr. Costa a little bit too hot into that turn. These tires will get better. The traction will improve as the race continues, but right now these tires are really cold. They're going to have to take it easy if they want to stay on track. Take a look at Dr. Costa as Chris Phil's behind him trying to make a move. Moving to the inside. Oh, Dr. Costa blocks. Oh! That was a hard hit. That was a vicious hit that Chris Phil just laid on Dr. Costa. I think Chris Phil took the brunt of that, though. Let's take a look at the replay. Oh, yeah. Dr. Costa hit the brakes, and Chris Phil really had nowhere to go. Yeah, that's gonna definitely damage Chris Phil's car. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not. But yep, I saw the smoke there. His car is definitely damaged. And once again, overdriving those turns. Racing Freak goes off along with El Nino. That's El Nino's second off. He's overdriving that car right now. He needs to calm down. Here we have VA Races, currently I believe in second place. He was a big winner out of that big dust up that Chris Phil and Dr. Costa had. He was able to slide under both of those two drivers and take up second place. Coming out this first turn, this first straightaway, these cars are gonna hit upwards of 200 miles an hour. The Mugello straight is one of the longest straights in racing. Here's Interlogic, currently in third place in his Acura NSX. And behind him, El Nino. Even though he's been going off, he's been driving that car hard, extremely hard. And Chris Phil has decided to come in on the first lap. He's taking his pit stop early. All cars are required to make at least one pit stop during a DTM racing series. There's no specified time when you have to take it. Oh, what? Is El Nino smoking? El Nino is smoking. I do not remember seeing him in an accident, but his car is definitely smoking. Let's see if we can find out when that happened, because let's see, he's coming down the straight. I don't see any smoke. Let's see, he's hitting those gears. Oh, that's what it was. He dropped gears way too fast. He did what's called engine braking. Engine braking is where you have the engine actually help you slow down the car. It's a bad idea in the best of circumstances. In a race, it's a sin, because you're putting a lot of strain on an engine that's already straining. El Nino's engine just could not take it, and he's smoking right now. That car is damaged. He's probably going to want to bring it in. As we go to Chris Phil, who already brought in his car. Usually your tires would be warm by now, but remember, he made an early pit stop, so he's back on cold tires. His car is still damaged, but the engine damage is gone, so he should be able to hopefully catch up. El Nino's car, though, although he was making really good time until he damaged his engine, and now he's not able to hold his position. Dr. Costa was able to come around and take that position away from him. But El Nino is still driving hard. Oh, Dr. Costa overdrives that turn. He gets a little wide, and El Nino is able to come up underneath him. But look at that. El Nino's car is so damaged that he cannot hold off Dr. Costa. He makes the move and makes the pass, but on this straightaway, look at this. Yep, Dr. Costa is able to take that position right back. El Nino, I'm guessing, is going to go into the pits immediately. No, he drives past the pits. El Nino does not pit, even though his car is damaged. And now he has Racing Freak and Esmade Satsuma right on his tail, and these guys are not going to give him an easy time of it. They're going to push until they take him out. They see that he's injured. They see that his car is damaged. They're going to push him until they get past him. Right now, it would be best if El Nino just pitted as soon as possible. El Nino is still he's actually passing people here. He was able to take Dr. Costa on the turn. Dr. Costa's car may not be handling as well as he would like, probably because of that incident earlier with Chris Phil damaged that rear wing. Oh, he gives El Nino a little tap there. Doesn't look like it gets him offline too much. No, El Nino's okay. That's racing. That's what we call racing, folks. Oh, but El Nino overdrives that turn. He goes in way too hot on that turn. Oh, he almost hits him coming out. That was incredibly close. Let's take a look at that again. Inches separated those two right there, just inches. This is an extremely tough battle these two are in right here. El Nino's in a damaged car. Dr. Costa is in a less damaged car, but still his car's not at 100% either, and they are driving hard, trying to keep that position. And right now they're battling for 4th place. Here's our #1 driver right here. Hendricks is currently in 1st place, way out ahead of everybody. Driving a 4-wheel drive Subaru. DTM Racing Series is sponsored by DTMMovies.com, the best place to buy the best movies. Over 35,000 DVDs and games in stock delivered directly to your door, including Blu-ray, HD DVD, Xbox, Nintendo Wii, and Nintendo DS. DTMMovies.com. Buy more movies, pay less money. Now back to racing. Currently in 3rd place. His car is not damaged at all, as you can see on the overlay. He's driving a very clean race. I'd be surprised if he doesn't catch up to the leaders very quickly. Here's El Nino. Oh my goodness, that was an incredibly hard hit. He just came in and I think he was, Let's see exactly what happened here. Here's the mate Satsuma. He sees Dr. Costa ahead of him and he brakes and tries to avoid. Just clips the front of him. Just barely clips the front of Dr. Costa. And here's Racing Freak. He's in a tough battle with Satsuma. Oh, he taps Satsuma because Satsuma braked, and he has nowhere to go. He just has nowhere to go at this point. He's just a passenger. And that's gonna damage all 3 of those cars. Oh, look at that. Dr. Costa's car is basically, he's walking wounded right now. He was driving a good race. He was in a solid, I believe, 5th place. He was battling with El Nino, and El Nino was driving a injured car himself. Dr. Costa, I believe, probably would have been able to overtake El Nino, but at this point, I'm not sure. It's a Maid Satsuma going off. These cars, at this point in the race, the tires are starting to go out, and plus, a lot of these cars have been in accidents. And the big winner out of that previous accident, believe it or not, was Chris Phil. He's already taken his pit stop, so all of the cars that he passes, that's for position. He's not going to have to give those positions back. So now he just passed Amaze Satsuma, it looks like. We're back up front now with Hendricks. Hendricks is having a very easy time of it. And his car, you can say it's the car, but his car is only rated 950, and the max rating in this class is 999. So his car is I wouldn't say underpowered, but is not at the very top of the spec. And you can say it's only 50 points, but 50 points is a lot when you're racing. Most of these cars are 998, 999s. His car is a 950. He's going into the pits right now, and looks like VA Racing is going to come take over first place while Hendricks is in the pits. But that's only going to be a temporary first place because VA Racing is also going to have the pit pretty soon. Yeah, as you can see, his tires are already at 25% down. Hendricks comes back out in second place. That's how far ahead Hendricks was. He was able to take a pit stop and still come out in second place. We just have third place Interlogic coming around the final turn right now for the straightaway. Be interesting to see if Interlogic decides to take his pit stop right now, if he's going to stay out for another lap. No, he takes his pit stop now. Around 5 laps in, you're going to see a lot of these cars decide to take their pit stops around halfway into the race. Partly because of damage, but more likely because of, oh no! I cannot believe this. El Nino stays out. As I was saying, the damage isn't so much a factor at this point because your tires are going out. You're not going to be able to get any traction, but El Nino is not pitting. He is staying out. This is just an incredible display. I don't want to call it courage, but maybe he just hates the pits. He's gonna have to pit sometime because of the rules, but he should have pit a long time ago. Racing Freak 92 comes in to take his mandatory pit stop, take care of some of that damage, and also get a new set of tires. Now these drivers are gonna have to remember when they come out, they're gonna be on a cold set of tires, so they're not gonna have the traction that they enjoyed for the last 2 laps. They're gonna have to basically start from the beginning. Chris Phil is slowly making his way back up. He's driving that car hard. He is pushing that car past the limit, trying to make up the spots that he lost in the beginning of the race. VA Races finally takes his first pit stop. He pits out of first place, and I believe we're probably going to see, yep, there it is. Hendricks is going to take over first place. Hendricks is doing a beautiful job of driving this course. It's obviously not the first time he's driven on a Mugello course. He's hitting his braking points. He's accelerating out of the turn well. That car is undamaged. He hasn't been in any incidents at all. We're farther back in the pack now with Ahmed Satsuma. And here's Chris Phil. And Ahmed Satsuma is trying to run down Chris Phil, but Chris Phil is like a bat out of hell. He is driving that car. He wants those positions back that he lost. And remember, Ahmed Satsuma is still going to have to make a pit stop. El Nino drives past the pits again. Again, he doesn't pit. Maybe he has a wrench in the car where he's trying to fix it himself or something, but what he's doing is he's actually hurting himself by not pitting because that car is just getting slower and slower and slower. See the front brakes light up on the Impreza as Hendricks brakes for those turns. You can set up these cars any way you like. A lot of these drivers have the brake bias set to the front so that the front brakes a little bit harder, a little bit more easy to handle if you do that. But other cars you'll see go for more balanced handling. You'll see all 4 tires, all 4 brakes light up when they hit the brakes. El Nino, I believe, is feeling the effects of his tires going out. And look at that. And at this point, he's not only a danger to himself, he's a hazard to other drivers on the road because, as you can see, Interlogic wants to pass him, but he can't. He can barely see. He has to get out of the racing line just to get away from the smoke that's in front of him because of all of the smoke that's coming out of the engine of El Nino. It's hard to believe how he can even see anything right now. And El Nino's not going to be able to hold him off. He's trying. He's doing an excellent job of driving here. Driving that damaged car and holding off the 4th place car of Interlogic. But remember, El Nino still hasn't pit. Interlogic already has the pit, so once El Nino pits, oh, looks like he goes a little bit wide there. Once El Nino pits, which hopefully is going to be on this lap. There you go. There's the pits. Finally, El Nino brings that car in. Comes in pretty hot, but he brings it in, and he's going to get that damage repaired. And there you have the cars passing him. I believe that was Interlogic taking over 3rd spot. Chris Phillips now has to try to chase down Analogic to see if he can get third place. The way he's been driving, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually able to make it. He is the story of this race right now. He is the feel-good story of this race. We have Hendricks actually lapping slower traffic here. He's lapping Dr. Costa. Oh, that was close. I believe we're 8 laps into this race, so we're going to have a couple more laps. Interlogic is trying to hold off Chris Phil. This is going to be an interesting battle because both of these cars now should be working fairly well. Chris Phil's car, but Chris Phil's car does not have new tires. Remember, his tires he had to change out in the first lap, so he has tires that have been driven on for 8 laps now. Interlogic, on the other hand, has fairly new tires. He's only have about 3 or 4 laps on his tires. He's putting a lot of pressure on Interlogic here. Chris Phil is really pushing Interlogic to the limit. Is he going to be able to take him on the straight? No, Interlogic still has the speed on him. Interlogic's car is working a little bit better than Chris Phil's car at this point. VA Race is still currently in 2nd place. He's pretty far back from Hendricks. I don't know if he's going to be able to catch him before the end of the race. In fact, it looks like he's actually losing ground on Hendricks. So no, he's not going to be able to catch him. I mean, anything can happen in racing, folks. So don't take my word for that one. Hendricks is about to lap Amaze Satsuma. He's basically he's forcing his will on this race right now, Hendricks is, because he's been in the lead since lap 1. He has not lost the lead except for when he pitted, but he has been consistently driving the fastest laps, no incidents. He's been driving a near picture perfect race. This is an incredible battle here for 3rd place between Interlogic and Chris Phil. Chris Phil is coming up on the inside. He's coming up, it looks like he's gonna try to make his move right here. No, Interlogic. Interlogic overdrives that turn. He tries to brake late, brakes too late, comes out of it into the grass. Chris Phil is able to go underneath and he's just gonna drive away from him at this point. That's what happens when you get constantly put pressure on somebody. That's what Chris Phil did. He just pressured him and pressured him and pressured him until Interlogic just couldn't take the pressure anymore. Racing Freak 92's car is not, I don't think it's handling as well as he wants it to. But remember, this is the first race of the season, so a lot of these drivers are just feeling out these cars. As the series progresses, they're going to get a better handle on these cars. They're going to be able to set them up for the specific tracks, and their driving is only going to get better from here on out. Here's Hendricks coming across the finish line to win the very first DTM Racing Series. Congratulations to Hendricks. The rundown we have: 1st place, Hendricks. 2nd place, VA Races. 3rd place, Chris Phil in a stunning comeback. 4th place, Interlogic. 5th place, El Nino. 6th place, Amaze Satsuma. 7th place, Racing Freak, and 8th place, Dr. Costa. I hope you'll join me, Derrick Hopkins, next week when the DTM Movies Racing Series will be at Suzuka Raceway for another 10 laps of hardcore racing.